Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon, and we're going to talk about the Stop Killing Games campaign, surpassing 1 million signatures, right? But there's all kinds of drama because some people aren't really that happy about it. No, apparently PirateSoftware is getting dogpiled by people. He was an early voice. I think actually he is responsible for it getting 1 million signatures because he took a very contrarian stance. He said that lawmakers shouldn't be bothered with this. It's not that big of a deal. Developers have a right to end their games whenever they feel like it. And I personally think he missed the boat on this one. And again, as somebody who does have a small stake in preserving game history, I think he's wrong. I think he's wrong. I think that especially if you're buying a game, I think that there should be some way to continue playing that game in some capacity, even if the servers are shut down. They have a right to shut the servers down, but if they charge you $50-$60 for a game, I think that you should be able to play it in some capacity. And this whole issue is blowing up the future of video games, right? And I think it's all interconnected. I think, we did a video yesterday talking about Gen Z noping out of video games. They're not spending as much money on video games. What I'm hearing from a lot of Gen Z and millennials is that they're buying video games. They're just not buying new video games, or they're buying fewer games. And part of it is that you don't own your game. You don't own your game. The developers are lecturing you, and you're basically a pay pig. They want every game to be a Netflix subscription. And it's not like it was back in the day where you paid, $50 for a game. That was it. It was on the cartridge or a disc, and that was it. That was your game. And it isn't anymore. And even games are supposed to be single player experiences. If you don't have the in the case of Nintendo Switch too, like if you don't have the virtual card or whatever, you've got the game, you're playing the game on another console, and then you want to play on this console. Well, you gotta make sure you make the switch. And I talked, no pun intended, but I talked about this before. We had the power go out about a month ago, whenever they did the update that you needed those virtual game cards, and games that I had physical copies of, I could not play because I did not have access to the internet. And I probably got like 200 Switch games, physical copies of Switch games, and I couldn't play them. I was freaking pissed. I'm like, I bought these games. Why can't I play my own games, my own physical copies of games on my Switch? And it's because they did that stupid update. And so apparently the Switch updated, then we lost power. And then since I wasn't online, I couldn't play any of my cartridges. I was very pissed. Very pissed about that. I'm like, what's the point? What's the point of buying a physical game? They don't want you buying physical games. They don't want you owning anything. Hey, we're going to talk about this. And I want to be very clear up front. Like, even if you don't like this guy, PirateSoftware, don't harass him. Don't dox him. Don't, he's saying he's getting all kinds of attacks. He probably is. I mean, he was put on blast by several prominent YouTubers, but don't harass this guy. It's not worth it. It's not worth the aggravation. He quit his gaming company, I guess, too, because of all the backlash. He took a very unpopular stance. Everybody loved this guy not too long ago, right? He's the ferret guy, right? Everybody loved this guy. And his position, has not been popular with gamers. And this is a game developer. But again, he's a game developer. I want you to, I want the right to be able to pull the plug on my game whenever I want to. And you guys are telling me, no, you want laws passed that you can't do that. Let's talk about it. It's getting crazy. And then we'll talk about Anthem. Anthem is a prime example of why you need to stop killing games, because servers are going to go dark. I think it was January of next year. Not that anybody was playing the damn game to begin with, but it's another example. Here's a game you bought, or whatever, or at least invested a lot of time into. And the servers are going dark, and that's it. Hell, even Phantasy Star Online, if I remember correctly, you could play Phantasy Star Online offline without again, my memory is a little bit foggy, but I think you could still play offline even when the servers went dark, and other people had servers that they started. So I think that's a good way to preserve those kinds of games. Anyway, before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. Speaking of preservation, we are making plans right now because I think YouTube is changing. not for the better for a lot of content creators. So if you would like to follow us wherever we go, in case YouTube decides to get really, really stupid and just drown out all human-made content, go to news.clownfishtv.com, where you can check out our paywalled podcasts, support the channel, support the podcasts over there. Also, you can listen to the audio versions. You've been able to listen to the audio versions of Clownfish TV, not every episode, but most episodes, for a very long time now. I think most people don't realize that. Apple Music, Amazon, Spotify. Check us out over there. We will keep going as long as we can keep going. But the future for content creators on YouTube, in my opinion, looks bleak. It doesn't look very good. I'm just going to be honest here. So stop killing YouTube. Oh, anyway, Deserto has this. PirateSoftware responds after Stop Killing Games campaign surpasses 1 million signatures. Stop Killing Games is a campaign urging publishers to preserve access to digital games even after their official support ends. Yes. And they've already hit over 1 million, 1.1 million. Now, Rock Paper Shotgun says they think that there are some fake signatures. So let's take a, I don't know. There was a lot of buzz around it. I don't know about that. On July 3rd, the petition achieved 1 million signatures and has 1.1 million total supporters. The streamer PirateSoftware criticized the movement, calling its aims too vague. That was, last year. The movement is essentially asking for rights that don't exist while ignoring the extensive protections that already do. During a July 4th Twitch stream, PirateSoftware, also known as Thor, said, "I got swatted on Tuesday." Yeah, don't do that. We actually have a friend of the channel who got swatted at the height of the Comicsgate drama. And it's don't do that. Somebody could get killed. People have gotten killed. I don't know if any streamers have gotten killed, but don't do that. None of this internet drama is worth somebody dying for. It's stupid. I've been having constant calls to my cell phone. I had tens of thousands of death threats to myself and the rest of the moderation team. I've been called a corporate plant, a degenerate, a narcissist, a nepo baby, and many other names. Yeah, it's not worth it. They attacked all the accomplishments over my life despite physical evidence to prove the contrary. And they also went after every job I've ever had, trying to say that I never worked them. And if I did work them, I never deserved them. Is he a nepo baby? Somebody said he was nepo baby. Before returning to playing Dune Awakening, Thor concluded by stating, "So I'm going to be honest with you. I hope that your initiative gets everything that you asked for, but nothing you wanted. I hope that your initiative gets everything you asked for, but nothing you wanted." And I'll leave it there. It sounds like fuck you. That's what that sounds like. Fuck you. I hope you get everything you asked for. And it eats you. On July 3rd, Thor confirmed in an ex-Twitter post that he had departed fellow content creator Ludwig's off-brand games following the discourse, claiming people have been attacking all of the games the studio had been publishing due to his comments. Thor branded the behavior unhinged. Yeah, people can get very, very passionate. That's an understatement. I'm no longer working at off-brand games. People were attacking all the games we were publishing. All the games. All the game? Do they have more than one game? I don't know. Let's see. I actually have not been paying too much attention to what they publish. Let's see what old games they have. 1, 2, 3. 2024. Bonnie Bear saves Frog. Wait, what? Bonnie Bear saves Frog Time. A frog-obsessed comedy adventure featuring tactical frog battles, bizarre quests, and the mother of all frogs, the Mother Frogger, and Ethermancer. Is this for little kids? It'd be funny if it was like super, super adult. But I didn't know that they really published that many games. I mean, they got a couple out. Okay, so it's not like, I'm just saying. He followed up with a further post, addressing the claims that he was lying about the attacks, that was trying to say that this is now somehow a lie. The abuse was across social platforms, Discord, Twitter, Reddit, and I have some reviews on Steam. It's not good. It's not good to, look, this happens all the time. I don't know why the people that do this think this is a good look, because it usually boomerangs, and I don't know if it's actually stop killing games people. My wife and I were talking about it, and she's like, well, is it the game companies that are whipping up the hatred toward this guy to make him look like a victim to get people to support stop killing games? You know, I don't know. I have no idea. I mean, that's like tinfoil hat, but it you know, it's never good. It's never good to attack someone, but I mean, the drama is just off the charts on this, and you're not allowed to say anything about it one way or the other. I mean, I did a video on it the other day trying to make sense of what the hell was going on, and I actually was very supportive of it because I do think games preservation is important. I think it's important, and I think if you're selling someone a product, especially if you're selling them, if it's a free-to-play game, we could debate that, right? I mean, I guess if you've got thousands of dollars or thousands and thousands of hours sunk into it, there should be some kind of obligation, I guess, that you know you can play it in some capacity. I mean, I was a huge old online player back in the day, and it still lives on thanks to shards. And I think that they got the rights, if I remember correctly. The one host got the rights from Origin to run shards now. So I mean, you can still play Ultimate Online like 30 years later, but I don't think that's gonna be the case for every game. I mean, like shitty mobile apps and stuff like that are, you know, like those games don't really, I don't think they need to be preserved. I think that there's some like cultural impact, like we need to preserve this game because it means a lot, or it means a lot to gaming history, then yeah, I can see it. If you pay for it, especially, there needs to be an offline component, I think, but everything is going online now, and that's the problem. But no, what I'm saying is I was actually generally supportive of it, and I still have people attacking me in the comments. Like, you talk about this thing at all, yeah, people just like lose their shit, and it's like, hey, I actually support you. Maybe not 100%, maybe like 98%, but yeah, a couple exceptions, a couple of carve outs, maybe. But yeah, it's just insane, like how this thing is escalated. Now, Rock Paper Shotgun saying they think that some of the signatures are fake. They're saying that yeah, Stop Killing Games EU petition hits 1 million signatures, but a significant number could be fake. Okay. Let's see here. The European Citizens Initiative have crossed 1 million signatures, except it hasn't. Scott announced in a video update. Oh, interesting. Uploaded on Accursed Farms yesterday. This is going to kill morale, but there are two things going on here. The first we knew was coming. Every time somebody makes a mistake when they sign the initiative, their signature gets invalidated. So that means we need more signatures. Okay. That could be a lot. 10%, 20%, 40%. Okay. Okay. First off, I want to say this is not a change.org petition. This is a government process. Spoofing signatures on it is a crime. Do not do this. It's unclear at this point whether any folks spoofing signatures on the petition might end up being prosecuted for doing so, but it won't invalidate the campaign as a whole. However, the fact that Scott's even heard talk about such a thing has left him unsure. This is the guy who was running it, by the way. He's been running it for about a year now, Ross Scott. That's interesting. Yeah, the fact that he's even looking at it. He has heard talk of such things, left him unsure of exactly how many real signatures he's got. He reckons there are at least 600 to 700,000 at current. Hence him asking EU citizens to keep on signing legitimately as the writing the EU petitions at 1 million signatures. Well, as of recording this video, it's 1.1. But again, if some of them are not legit, that's actually going to hurt. Yeah, don't do that, because that's actually going to hurt the whole movement. If it turns out that half the signatures are faked, they're gonna be like, oh, look, they just faked it. That's just like those Snyder fans. Who do they think they are? Yeah, that's exactly what's going to happen. And I do have to wonder. I really have to wonder, are there big game studios that definitely don't want this to get passed because they don't want to have to, you know, have any obligation to you long term? Or they going to be like, yeah, let's just fake a bunch of signatures because we got the money to do it. Just throw a wrench to it. Then we'll go crying to the media about like, oh, half the signatures are fake. Bunch of Snyder bros. There's only 12 of them or something. You know what I'm saying? It's worth noting that Stop Killing Games also has UK petitions, 150,000 signatures. I bet money on the EU initiative delivering something good if it passes, but the UK has been more about exhausting all options. Scott says in the video, member of Parliament could sneeze on the petition. That would not be a worse answer. Yeah, I don't know how it's going to go. But it is at least bringing attention to it. And I think if nothing else throughout all of this, game developers going forward need to think long and hard about it. Do you want to do right by the players? Do you want to be on the right side of things? If that is the case, then you need to plan for some kind of an offline component, even if you pull the plug on your servers. I don't think that they should have to run servers at great expense to them for decades just because, a handful of people are playing this game or whatever. But I think there does need to be some kind of an offline component. And I think there should be an option that, like, look, we're done. In the case of Anthem, like, we're done with Anthem. If you guys want to take it over, have a fan server or something, as long as you're not making money on it or whatever, you can do that. I think that would be a good plan. And again, I'm looking back at Ultima Online, and you can still play it years and years and years later, right? But yeah, Anthem's going dark on January 12th. It's EA. I don't know. This is a really interesting question. I mean, these are questions that we didn't have to ask ourselves 10 years ago, 20 years ago, right? Hell, people are still playing Phantasy Star Online 1 on Dreamcast now, current year. It's possible, right? It just, so I think it's, there does need to be some kind of a strategy. And I think developers, it's on the developers to be like, okay, we're going to spend all this money on this game. What happens if it fails? Do we have an obligation to keep it online? Do we turn it over to fans? What do we do? Now, in the case of something like Concord, I don't think that there's any, it was like at 2 weeks and obviously nobody played it, right? I don't think there's any obligation. But if it is something that had a pretty sizable player base and that people invested all kinds of time in it, yeah, I think there is. I think there is some kind of an obligation that they need to at least have, if for no other reason, the business side of it, you need to have some kind of a strategy so you're not on the wrong side of gamers. So you don't run afoul of gamers, because if you, pardon my French, fuck gamers over, EA, again and again, Ubisoft, again and again and again, they're not going to come back for your next game. So you need to do right by them. Be like, yeah, we're sunsetting this game. You can still play it on your own terms or whatever, but we don't have official support for it, but good luck. We're glad you enjoyed it. Here's how you continue to play it. And kind of go from there, I guess. I don't know. It's an interesting question. I mean, if nothing else, it's going to raise a lot of internal questions, I think, at game studios going forward. What do we do? What's the exit plan? Because nothing lasts forever, right? Going to wrap it up. Also, don't harass people. Don't threaten them. Don't dox them. Don't swat them. That's not good. That's never good. I don't care. Even if the person is the biggest piece of shit in the world, there are some people that come after us that are huge pieces of shit, but I would never put them on blast, dox them. I would never incite anyone to swat them. I mean, it's just internet bullshit. It's just internet bullshit. Just avoid them if you can. Just avoid them. It's not worth it. It's not worth it for over internet drama. None of that is worth it. No internet drama is worth dying for. All right. I'm just going to put it out there. All right. So please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. We'll talk later. For more pop culture news, views, and rants, go to news.clownfishtv.com. That's news.clownfishtv.com.